Everyday English Podcast
by English Talking Today.
Hi everyone, and welcome back to English Talking Today. I'm Mary, and we're going to be talking about something that I think is really important for every single English learner out there, no matter what level you're at. We're going to be tackling English learning misconceptions. Now, what exactly is a misconception? Well, a misconception is a false idea, a belief that many people hold, but it's actually not true. It's a bit like a widely accepted myth. And when it comes to learning English, these false ideas can really put the brakes on your progress. They can make you feel stuck, frustrated, or like you're doing something wrong when, in reality, you just have a misunderstanding of how the process actually works. My goal today is to share some of these most common misconceptions and show you the truth behind them, because once you know the truth, you can adjust your habits and start making real, solid progress again. Misconception 1. Watching movies with subtitles will make you fluent automatically. This is a big one. I hear this all the time. Mary, I watch 2 hours of English movies every night. Why am I still not fluent? And the truth is, while watching English media is a great way to expose yourself to the language and its sounds, it is, by nature, a passive activity. Think about it. When you watch a movie with subtitles, your brain is mostly relaxing and letting the information wash over it. You're following the plot, but you're not actually producing the language. You're not actively practicing speaking, listening for nuances, or thinking about sentence structure. It's like watching someone lift weights at the gym. You might know how to lift them, but you won't get stronger until you actually pick up the weights yourself. So, how do you turn this passive activity into an active one? You need to engage with the material. Instead of just letting the show play, try pausing it. Copy a line or an interesting phrase exactly as the actor said it. This is a technique called shadowing, where you try to match the rhythm, intonation, and speed of the native speaker. You could also write down new phrases or common chunks of language that the actors use and then try to use them in your own practice sentences the next day. For example, if you hear a character say, "I'm on the fence about it," instead of just reading the subtitle and moving on, you pause, say it out loud 3 times, and then write it down. The shift from simply watching to actively engaging is what moves the needle towards fluency. Misconception 2. Speaking fast means speaking fluently. I see a lot of learners who are so focused on trying to speak as quickly as possible, believing that speed is the measure of their success. But I have to tell you, speed and fluency are not the same thing. Fluency is about smooth, natural, and effective communication. It means being able to express your ideas clearly, feeling comfortable while you're talking, and being confident that the person you're speaking to understands your message without unnecessary effort. When you try to speak too fast, what often happens is that your sentences become messy. You start tripping over your words, and your grammar structure breaks down. You might be speaking quickly, but you're not speaking well, and that just leads to frustration for both you and the listener. Think of a news anchor or a professional speaker. They don't rush. They speak at a measured, consistent pace, which gives them time to choose the right words and lets the listener process the information. True fluency is like a smooth river. It flows easily and clearly. Don't worry about trying to sound like a machine gun. Focus on being clear, making sure you pronounce the words correctly, and using appropriate pausing. If you can communicate your idea effortlessly, that is true fluency, regardless of the speed. Misconception 3. You must think in English all the time. This one can cause a lot of anxiety. People feel like they're failing if they have to translate a few words in their head before they speak. They believe that you have to instantly flip the switch and start all your internal dialogue in English. The truth is, thinking in English is not a prerequisite for fluency. It's a natural result of consistent practice. It grows slowly, just like a tree. You can't force it. The mind is complex, and for a long time, It will be easier and faster for your brain to use your native language, especially when discussing complex ideas. Instead of trying to force 24/7 English thinking, which is exhausting, create small, regular English islands in your day. These are little pockets of time where you consciously try to use English for simple tasks. For example, when you eat breakfast, try to silently or quietly describe the food. This coffee is hot and a little bitter, or the toast is crunchy. When you're standing in line at the store, try to describe the objects around you. That's a red shopping cart, or the cashier is wearing a blue shirt. Or keep a short English diary at night and just write 3 simple sentences about your day. By making it a small, manageable habit, you train your brain to access English automatically in those specific contexts, and over time, those islands will start to connect and grow. Misconception 4. One perfect method is enough. Mary, should I only use flashcards? Should I only listen to podcasts? What's the best way? People are always looking for that one magic bullet, that single, perfect course, app, or teacher that will solve all their problems. The reality is, there is no single magic method that works for everything. Language learning is a multifaceted skill, meaning it has many different parts, and each part requires a different kind of practice. Think of it like cooking a full meal. You don't just use one knife for everything. You need a cutting board, a pan, a whisk, and an oven. The same is true for English. You need a mix of activities. You need listening to develop your comprehension. You need shadowing and speaking practice to train your mouth muscles. You need reading to absorb grammar naturally and build vocabulary. You need writing to practice structure. And, most importantly, you need real conversations to practice the back and forth of communication. A learner who only listens will be great at understanding, but terrible at speaking. A learner who only studies grammar rules will know the rules, but won't be able to use them fast enough in a conversation. So, embrace the variety. Make sure your study time includes a bit of everything, and you'll find your progress is much more balanced and complete. Misconception 5. Learning English is a straight line. Many learners start out with a lot of excitement, and for the first few months, they see amazing progress. Then, they hit a wall. They feel like they aren't learning anything new. Their speaking ability seems the same as it was last month, and they start to feel discouraged. They think, I must be doing something wrong because my progress has stopped. This is based on the false idea that learning is a straight line that only goes up. The truth is, learning is more like climbing a mountain. You will have times when you move up a very steep slope very quickly. These are the times when you feel the excitement of rapid progress. But you will also have times when you are walking on a plateau, which is a flat area on the side of the mountain where you don't seem to be gaining any altitude. These plateaus are natural and essential. They don't mean you're failing. They mean your brain is taking time to reorganize and internalize all the new information and skills you've just learned. Your brain is processing and connecting those quick gains, preparing you for the next big jump in your ability. So, when you hit a plateau, don't quit. That's the time to keep your daily habits strong. Change up the type of practice you're doing. Maybe switch from reading to conversation, and trust that the next upward surge is right around the corner. Misconception 6. If you don't start young, you will never be fluent. This is a very common and very damaging misconception, especially for adult learners who may feel like they've missed their chance. While it's true that children's brains are incredibly adept at copying new sounds and absorbing language quickly, the idea that adults cannot achieve fluency is simply false. You absolutely can learn at any age. Think about the advantages adults have over children. Adults have better focus and concentration. They have discipline and can commit to a regular study schedule. They have better problem-solving strategies and can understand grammar concepts logically. And they are usually highly motivated because they have a clear goal, like a new job or travel. What matters more than the age you start is the quality and consistency of your habits. For example, a 35-year-old who practices speaking for 20 minutes a day consistently will become fluent much faster than a 15-year-old who only studies English once a week in school because they have to. Your adult brain is a powerful tool. You just need to use its strengths, like your focus and strategy, to your advantage. Stop worrying about your age and start focusing on your daily commitment. Misconception 7. You must learn difficult words and advanced grammar to impress others. I've seen learners try to use a long, complicated word they just learned instead of the simple, common one they already know, and it often results in awkward sentences. There's a false belief that to sound intelligent or fluent, you need to pepper your speech with obscure vocabulary and very complex grammatical structures. The truth is that daily fluency is built with simple, common words and phrases that you use repeatedly in real life. Most native English speakers rely on a core set of a few thousand words and many chunks of language, those common phrases that we use without thinking, like, I'm looking forward to it, or that's a good point, or how are you doing? Mastering these simple chunks and using them smoothly and appropriately is what makes your communication feel natural and effortless. Think about your goal. If it's to have smooth, effective conversations, then prioritizing clear communication over complicated language is key. A simple sentence that is perfectly delivered is far more impressive than a complicated one that is awkward or grammatically incorrect. Focus on making your basic conversation seamless, and the advanced vocabulary will come naturally as you read and listen more. Don't chase the complicated words. Master the common ground first. Misconception 8. Silence means failure. In a conversation, when you pause to think, do you immediately feel like you failed or you've lost your fluency? Many students see silence as a sign that they don't know the language well enough. But let me reassure you, pausing is a natural and essential part of real fluency. In fact, a pause can be a tool. Pausing gives your brain the necessary moment to think, to select the right word, or to structure the next part of your sentence so that it comes out clearly. Native speakers do it all the time. We use little filler words like, or phrases like, let me see, or, precisely to buy ourselves a few extra seconds of thinking time. A well-placed pause can actually make your message clearer and more impactful because it allows the listener to digest what you've just said and prepares them for what's next. So, when you feel the need to pause, don't panic. Embrace the silence. Use a common filler like, that's a great question. Let me think for a second, or simply take a deliberate, short breath. Remember, a moment of silence to organize a clear thought is a sign of a thoughtful communicator, not a failed learner. So, as we wrap up today's episode, I want to leave you with this core message. Fluency is not magic, and it is certainly not about perfection. It's not about speaking like a robot, speaking at lightning speed, or never pausing. Fluency is built through daily practice, one small step after another. It's about being courageous enough to speak even when you feel nervous, being consistent with your habits, and understanding that plateaus and pauses are part of the journey. The only way to truly fail is to stop trying because you're holding onto a false misconception. I hope this episode has helped you smash through some of those myths and has given you a clearer, more realistic roadmap for your English learning journey. Thank you so much for tuning in to English Talking Today. Keep practicing, keep learning, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye for now.